What is going on, bronzeback slaying homies, or should I call you guys the gravel lizard slaying homies, because we're not fishing for bronzebacks today. My name is Tyler. We're fishing for walleyes today. Gonna be pretty fun. I want to do a video all about shore fishing and trying to help you guys improve your shore fishing game, especially here in the spring when the walleyes are running. And I just kind of want to give you guys some tips and tricks on how to do that. Should be a really fun day. I know I'm gonna catch fish. The fish are in the rivers pretty thick right now because of the walleye run, so should be a great time. It's gonna be busy, but I'm gonna try to get away from the people and kind of show you guys what I like to do when I'm shore fishing, especially wading. Today in particular, I'm gonna be throwing my waders on and keeping my feet wet and trying to get into some areas where it's not quite as crowded. If you guys have not, please go subscribe down below. Go check out my socials. They're all linked down below. I got an Instagram, a Facebook, where I like to post pictures and stories and updates on what I'm doing and where I'm fishing and stuff like that. But get ready, because there's gonna be all sorts of tips and tricks in this video, just packed with stuff on how to be a better shore fisherman. This is something I've been doing since I was about 10 years old. So I've been doing it for about 11 or so years now, pretty consistently. Let's get geared up, ready to go, throw the GoPro on the chest, and go catch some walleyes. Well guys, as you can see, I'm wading down the river right now. I did find a few baits caught up in logs. So as you can see, I got this little box right here. Super nice, just small, that I stuff right in my wader's pocket. Makes it easy. I got some husky jerks, ripping wraps, just found those two baits, and I got some X wraps as well. Those are some baits that I like to fish in the spring for walleyes. Starting out with what I believe is a number 10 husky jerk. This can be really good in rivers that are a little bit shallower. Ideally what you want to do is you want to be fishing this right along the bottom and bumping that lip of the crankbait right in the rocks, just because those walleyes are glued to the bottom obviously, and when you bump it through those rocks like that, that's kind of when it triggers a bite from them. So what I like to do is just cast it a little bit upstream, angled upstream, try to get it in there and bounce off those rocks. Like I can feel it hitting them right now, which is right where you want to be. And a lot of times with this ripping current, you're just going to feel your bait stop. You're not going to feel any sort of bite or anything crazy like that. A lot of times when the fish are snagged too, you can tell because they fight differently. And it happens, you know. One of those things you can't really avoid when you're fishing a river full of walleyes in the spring spawn. People always get all bent out of shape about that. It's like, well, surely not trying to snag any walleyes, but it happens. This one just crushed it. It's a decent fish too. Absolutely cranked on that thing. Out in the rocks, all of a sudden, bang. Come on, guy. That's a nice man. Mean son of a gun. Look at that, that's a nice one. And there he goes. Really, if you're not making bottom contact with your bait, you're probably going to want to switch, because like I said, bouncing the rocks, that's crucial. It's really key to triggering those bites. The thing about that too is those fish come in through waves because they're spawning. They come in kind of like little wolf packs, and you'll have a bite window or just a window where you get a pot of fish to come through, or even just window where they start biting. Always depends. Sometimes they're in the middle of spawning, so they're not really interested in eating. Some may be post spawn and they're coming down river and they're eating. All just kind of depends on timing. You just kind of got to figure that out based on what you observe. I just got creamed right out here. Absolutely smoked. This fish feels pretty good. Hopefully it doesn't pop off. The current runs right through their mouth and gills. Opens their mouth up, which makes it tough sometimes. Little guy. Yeah, you can see the top hooks there popped out when fighting him. And he just got that one right in there, just pinned. See it tore right out from his lip. Oh, little guy going back. Oddly enough, I like to fish a rip and wrap in the river sometimes just because it grinds in the bottom and you can really trigger those strikes as it bounces through there. But the other benefit about that is that you can figure out where the structure is on the river. So at least in this situation, I've got rocks out in the middle of the river. It's kind of almost goes up. It's a little bit shallower. I've actually walked across the river before when the water was kind of low, so I kind of know the lay of the river. But a lot of times it'll come off the shore here and it'll drop off into like a little trough, and then it goes right back up, kind of that shelf or flat of rocks, if you will. All right, I'm gonna make a quick bait switch here because I'm gonna bet first cast is gonna be a fish on that. And I'll show you guys how I'm fishing that and what I'm doing. Really just bombing it out pretty far. I'm just gonna keep my rod tipped down and literally just drag it in through the rocks. You really don't have to set the hook just because if they bite it, they'll get it. You'll just kind of pull back on them. If you're trying to set the hook too hard, you're probably gonna end up honestly snagging fish. And hooked up. Man, these things dog in the current. Oh. It's a decent fish. It's like a little male. Barely hooked. He's got his mouth open coming up. Come on. In the bottom lip like that, look at that. Nice little walleye there. Got it right in the bottom of the lip. Look at that. She goes. Got one way out there. I keep missing the hook set. GoPro's kind of low on battery. I should have brought a battery with me. Come on. These fish barely, well, that one needs to stay pinned, but there you go. That's the problem with that heavy current is they shake and shake and shake, and those trebles pop right out. Thank you guys so much for watching today's episode of DC Bronzies. Really do appreciate it. If you have any questions for me, go ahead and leave them down in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them for you. If you got anything related to shore fishing, anything like that, drop them down below or send me a DM on Instagram. Thank you so much for watching. Had a great time catching walleyes. We will see you on the next episode of DC Bronzies. Peace.